Fidelity Investments, bringing convenience and money management expertise to individual investors. Fidelity Investments supports TV 12.
I learned that the first man to sail solo around the world couldn't even swim.
WHYY's Store of Knowledge joins you in support of TV 12.
Why do we buy it? We buy it because whether it's a myth or a manipulation, let's face it, we all want to fall in love, right?
Barbara Streisand doesn't do many movies. Now that she's become a director, she chooses them very carefully, and she likes to star in them as well. As in The Mirror Has Two Faces with Jeff Bridges and playing her mother, Lauren Bacall. It's an interesting concept. Barbara plays a woman who doesn't think of herself as attractive, and Jeff plays a man who's been hurt so much by sex, he doesn't want a full romantic relationship with a woman. You can imagine the comic possibilities. I met with Barbara and the others in Los Angeles, and I began by asking her something that her character asks. Why is it we need love?
It just heightens life, your experience of life. You know, it just makes you appreciate every color, every nuance, you know, every flower, every person, you know, the potential in every person. I mean, everything looks more alive and sweet.
Is she an actor's director?
Yeah, very much so. I mean, it took me, when you asked that question, I got to kind of put, because it's such an unusual experience. And she did it so well, this idea of, and I'm trying to think of this, I think this was the first for me too, working with a director who was acting in the scene with you, you know, and I was very concerned about that, you know, whether, you know, I'd be doing a scene with somebody and I could see in their eyes that they weren't playing the scene, but they were judging me, saying, oh, he shouldn't do that. And she had this amazing ability to just be in the scene and then be out and give the directions and then be in it again. That was, you know,
that is,
you know, remarkable.
Amazing.
Yeah, that was really terrific, and she had as much, you know, joy on the set. It was a kind of a, you know, a fun, light set. You know, it wasn't, you know, real heavy and all that, and that's really important.
The idea of working with Barbara and Jeff, mostly Barbara, because most of my scenes were with her, was irresistible to me, and I was thrilled at the prospect. And I knew that anything that she has anything to do with is an important movie, and so it's valuable.
And I thought about that. These are two strong women who seem to like each other.
Yeah, and that's because we have an unspoken relationship. We never defined it, but there's a connection. And I think that there was a natural chemistry between us in the scenes that I think was essential for the movie and for the characters. And the whole evolution of those characters, and it came through.
As Jeff was saying, you know, he said, I didn't know, I haven't done this before, she's going to be there as a star, she's also going to be a director. How could you separate the two things? How could you not be the director and be in the moment?
You know, there are certain questions that are mystical. There are certain questions like this. You know, somebody asked me recently, why do I have a need to get involved in politics, let's say, or to defend justice or civil rights or whatever, you know, and I say, why do I like chocolate? You know what I'm saying? I just like chocolate. Yeah, why? I could sit there and contemplate my navel, but and try to think of it, but I mean, I will when I have time. That's why I don't make many movies. I need the time in between to think of all these interesting questions, to go to the interesting classes.
Aren't they? Barbara, thank you very much.
Oh, my pleasure.
With Barbara Streisand in L.A., I'm Patrick Stoner. Thank you.
Thanks, Patrick.
Thank you.
I'm out of respect, love, trust, common interests. You ever notice how most friendships last longer than most marriages?
Well, that's true, but marriage...
thinking in this day and age. But I think the 12th century was on to something.
Yeah?
Would you like some coffee? Tea?
Got any scotch?
I'm Paul Kangas with a Business News Brief. Texaco has settled a racial discrimination lawsuit for $115 million in employee payments, plus a one-time salary hike for a total of $176 million. The company will set up a task force to improve its human resource and diversity programs. Civil rights leaders are still undecided about whether to picket the company's gas stations. Texaco stock closed up 2 3/4 at 101 1/8 today. Wall Street closed higher with the Dow Jones Industrial Average gaining 35 points, a record high for the 8th straight trading session, thanks largely to an 8-point jump in IBM stock. The NASDAQ index lost 8.5 points, while the American Exchange Index edged up a fraction. And Monday will begin 3 reports looking at the future of a changing Europe. For more financial news, tune into the Nightly Business Report weekdays on this public television station.